In this tutorial, I want to show you a bit more detail on how we've built the art-conductor maps for Cubase 15 and how you work with them. The new maps were rebuilt completely from the ground up to take full advantage of the new features in Cubase 15. And probably the single biggest change is this. Sound slots no longer work with 4 fixed slots. Instead, those 4 slots are now replaced by articulation combinations. If you think about it, the technique names in your sampler already describe those combinations. So for example, if you have a technique like Legato Sordino, you now define that by combining 2 articulations, Legato plus Sordino in the expression map. And that's really the core idea behind the new system. Another major change in Cubase 15 is that every sound slot must be assigned to a mutually exclusive group, and the name pretty much says it all. Articulations in the same group can't be active at the same time. So, for our earlier example, Legato Sordino, Legato and Sordino need to live in different groups because you actually want to use them together. But I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. Let's load a map and jump over to the key editor. For the record, I'm using a special version of Cinematic Studio Strings violins, where I've set every articulation to the direction type. I've done this purely to make the example easier to follow. In practice, our new maps usually contain a mix of directions and attributes. Everything I'm showing you here applies to attributes as well. Just keep in mind that, unlike directions, attributes always need to be attached to a note. Now, an expression map defines which combination of sound slots is needed to trigger a specific articulation in your sampler instrument. In the Track Inspector, under the Expression Map tab, you'll see all available articulations. You can select them directly by clicking, and your sampler will switch accordingly. When you hover over an articulation, Cubase now shows you exactly which sound slots are involved. For example, if I want to trigger Legato Sordino Espressivo, Cubase tells me that this uses Legato, Sordino, and Espressivo. When you activate this combination in the key editor, Cubase triggers the correct sound slot at the right moment. Now let's take a look at what those mutually exclusive groups actually do. Over here in the inspector, you can see that we have several types of legato, like Legato Espressivo, Legato Harmonics, and Legato Marcato. I can select one of these in the key editor, but I can't select more than one at the same time. That's because they all belong to the same mutually exclusive group. On the other hand, I can turn Con Sordino on or off, and it updates all 3 legato types at once. That's because Con Sordino lives in its own exclusive group. Finally, when I select Natural, which usually represents a standard long articulation, you'll notice that Con Sordino stays active, because long also has a Sordino option. And if I replace Natural with a reset, the articulation switches to what's active in the second group, because nothing is active in the primary group. So that's a quick walkthrough of how articulation combinations and mutually exclusive groups work in the new art-conductor maps for Cubase 15. Thanks for watching and have a great day.